we'll do the 12th chapter, which is called as the Bhakti Yoga. So here the Lord tells about the devotional services. Okay, so all the chapters from 6 to 12, he is talking about the devotional services, right? And in 12th chapter, we'll see what the Lord tells about devotional service. Arjuna is inquiring again. Arjuna has some more doubts. Okay, he says, which are considered to be more perfect? Okay, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahma, the unmanifested. Okay, so he wants to know, whom do you consider as, he's asking the Lord, whom do you consider as the perfect being? Okay, those who are always properly engaging in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahma. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Okay, so the Lord tells they have to fix their mind upon my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. That is, the Lord tells, right? You have to put me in front. Okay, first think about me and then start doing your karmas. Okay, or start doing your duties, whatever is assigned for you, whatever duties or responsibility that you have. Okay, keep doing. Worshipping means not like how we do go to the temple and 24/7 sit in temple. No, whatever profession we are in, okay, whatever, so we have to contribute in that profession, we have to contribute, but always think of the Lord and start assume that you are, or you have to think that you are doing that service to for the Lord. Okay, so when you do that, you will always perform well. Okay, that is called as devotional service. Okay, so whatever service you are, you do it with complete integrity. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Okay, so he says that, like how Prabhupada, he went all the way. So it was not required at the age of 67 to go all the way from here, from Vrindavan to Boston, okay, such a far place, and propagate the knowledge of Gita, propagate the knowledge of the Lord, and build that Krishna consciousness to all of them, spread the knowledge of Lord Krishna everywhere, right? So with even at that age, okay, so where most of us, okay, we may not want to, we may want to sit at home and relax, we may want to enjoy our retired life, right? But the Lord Prabhupada was not like that. Okay, so he knew the benefits that he got because of this Krishna consciousness or the devotion. And along with that, he's also carrying the Indian heritage all the way from India. He's spreading that knowledge. We are so rich in this knowledge, right? We saw that in a school, in all universities or all schools in Netherlands, they have Bhagavad Gita as one of the courses, okay, right? Because why? Because it is a life manual. It is teaching you how to lead your life, how you should perform your karmas, how you should do your karma with devotion, right? So it is giving you so much of knowledge, right? And it is telling you how you can perform devotional service and what are the ways how you should live as a man, like how as when I accept something, how I should perform my duty, right? The Lord is okay, and then so but those who fully worship the unmanifested, okay, so he tells that perception of senses, the all pervading in unchanging, fixed and immovable, okay, so he is trying to propagate that knowledge everywhere. And then for those whose mind are attached to the unmanifested, all of you mute your mic, okay? Otherwise, I'm muting all of you. Okay, for those whose mind are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Okay, so when you attack, where
Ma'am,
for those
I can't see the slide.
what ma? You're able to.
Ma'am, I can't see the slide.
What about others? Manvi, are you able to see the slide? Manvi?
Ma'am, now I can see.
Okay.
It was showing that Dr. Poornima ji has started screen sharing, but now it's with.
No, yeah, maybe your internet maybe slow, Srijan. Okay. Yes,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
others are able to see. That's why. Okay, so for those whose mind are attached to the unmanifest, impersonal feature of the supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. And then he says, but those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, so the Lord tells that whoever completely surrenders everything to me and they perform their duties, okay, and without any deviation, okay, when a duty is assigned, when a responsibility is given, you put your heart and soul into that and you completely dedicate and start performing, fixing your mind upon the Lord. The Lord tells that I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. Okay, so the Lord tells that you have to fix your mind on me and the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engage all your intelligence in me. Okay, and thus you will live in me always without a doubt. Okay, so that is called. So when you fix up, so even in bhakti, there are different types of bhakti. One is called as Ananya Bhakti. Okay, that is you completely surrender to the Lord and you completely devote everything to the Lord. Okay, like Mirabai. Okay, like the gopis and the gopas, right? All of them, they all are Ananya Bhakti. Okay, and then the second form of bhakti is Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, then he says, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Okay, so he tells like the next, if you cannot be like Ananya Bhakti, you cannot follow the path of Ananya Bhakti. Okay, and in Ananya Bhakti, you are always anything, any word you utter also, you're only telling of the name of the Lord, like Narayana, I mean, Narada Muni. Okay, right? Like how Narada Muni, he always only if he opens his mouth, he'll say Narayana, Narayana, right? Whenever he opens his mouth, his only word that comes out of his mouth is on Narayana, Narayana's name. Okay, so that is called as Ananya. Whatever you talk, you only talk about the Lord. That is Ananya Bhakti. And if God tells, if you cannot do that, the second is Sadhana Bhakti. What is Sadhana Bhakti? You have to fix your mind upon the Lord without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Okay, so you have to fix up your mind, follow the rules and regulations that are given, regulative principles. That is, no the four regulating principles that are given. That is, you do not indulge in gambling, you do not indulge in the what do you say, unwanted eating. That is, you have to control your senses. When you're able to control your senses, that is the regulative principle that we told, right? That eightfold bhakti, that eightfold steps, right? From yama to samadhi, all that 8 steps, if you are able to, that is, you have to control gain of your, control your mind, control your tongue, you have to control your hearing, everything, the senses and with the mind. Okay, you are able to control. In this way, develop a desire. Okay, and doing that, you should also have a desire to attain him. So, and then the third form is nishkama karma. So if you are not able to do ananya bhakti, you are not able to do the this one sadhana bhakti, then the third type is the nishkama karma yoga. That is, if you cannot practice the regulations of bhakti yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Okay, you start working towards the Lord. Like say, so many of them try to build temple. Some of them try to offer. Okay, whatever they do, they try to do it in the name of the Lord. Okay, so that is called as nishkama karma. Okay, so they start doing this service in the form of the Lord. So he says, if you cannot practice the regulations, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. And the third, okay, so even if you cannot do ananya bhakti, you cannot do the sadhana bhakti, and if you cannot do even nishkama karma also, you are not able to do. Okay, then he says the other is the sakama karma. So if however you can you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated. Okay, that is like say you perform some charity, like how here Nanda Maharaj, okay, he's so wealthy and rich, and so when Krishna is born, he starts distributing the wealth to all his people around. Okay, like that. Okay, so in the name of the Lord, you are trying to donate, or you are performing charity. Okay, that is called as sakama karma. So the Lord tells, if you cannot do any of the others, at least do the sakama act, giving up all results of your work and trying to be self-situated. So you can see many of them, they say that they gave so much of wealth to the temple. Okay, why? Because when you give it to the temple, it always goes through temple. There are many other services which you can do. Okay, in the name of the Lord, when you do it, when you give it, so we can see that through temple there are food reaching to all children. Okay, so many schemes can come up through the temple, because in the name of the Lord, it can never go, the money cannot go waste, or it cannot be used for the unwanted things. Okay, so it will always be used for the right purpose. And then you have the Lord tells, even if you cannot do any of the four, okay, that is ananya bhakti, you are not able to do sadhana bhakti, you are not able to do nishkama karma, you are not able to do sakama karma also, you are not able to do, then you can choose the other two forms, that is jnana and dhyana. Okay, jnana is to deliver the knowledge of the Lord, and dhyana is to sit and meditate. Okay, so if you cannot take this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge, that is develop the knowledge about the Lord and spread that knowledge to the others. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. Okay, that is, he tells that you either cultivate the knowledge of the Lord, like how all of you are trying to understand the Lord here, right? And then, or you, when you understand, then you also share it with others. Okay, so even if you cannot do that also, then at least sit and meditate upon him. And then if better than meditation is renunciation, okay, then the better than meditation is also you renounce whatever service you are doing, any service you do, but you do it in the name of Lord, and then forget about the results for that service, or fruits for that action or the service. By such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So when you do that, you can attain the peace of mind. The Lord tells, one who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself as a proprietor and is free from false ego, and who's equal in both happiness and distress, who's tolerate, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Okay, so he tells like cloud. This is Prahalad Maharaj, okay, where the father tries to kill him at every moment. The father makes it a point, or he will be looking for a point where he can kill his son, for the reason because he is a devotee of Narayana. Okay, but the Lord, okay, he will always protect him in all circumstances, is always protected by the Lord. So one who is not envious but is a kind friend of all living entity, who does not think himself as a proprietor, okay, that is who is very humble, okay, and free from false ego, and who's equal in happiness and distress. Okay, so you take whether you are, whether something good happens to you or something bad happens to you, you take it in the same sense. Okay, you take it in the same spirit, like how I showed the other day, right? How a bhakt and a non-bhakt behave when his house collapses, right? So so a bhakt will always be self-controlled, okay, because he knows that the Lord has some plan for him. The Lord will give him the results, or he will always take care of him. He has complete faith in the Lord, and so he is not disturbed by whatever happens around him, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Okay, so he says that such a devotee is very dear. He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. Okay, like Prahalad. Okay, right? Though he knows that his father is waiting for a chance to kill him, but he is undisturbed by that. Okay, so he only, what he knows is always only chanting the name of the Lord Narayana, because he knows that Narayana is going to protect him at every instance. Okay, so even if he is put into difficulty, he is not at all disturbed by it, and neither he is unhappy that his father, his own father who has given birth to him, is treating him like that. Okay, so he is not at all disturbed. Okay, he's not unhappy by that, nor is happy that Lord Narayana is always protecting him. Okay, and then he has no fear also. He's not fearing the death. Okay, and he is also not anxious. Okay, he's not also, there is no anxiety also for him. Okay, and he's so the Lord tells, okay, so they will never be disturbed, and such devotees are always dear to me, the Lord tells. And he says, my devotee who is not dependent on ordinary course of activity, who's pure and expert, without care, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Okay. So the Lord
Ma'am,
tells, yes.
ma'am, can I recite this shloka 12.16?
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, it's blurred, so I am zooming it. Ma'am, wait for a second. Yes, ma'am. अनापेक्ष सुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथथा व्यातः सर्वरंभा परित्यागी यो मद्भक्त समे प्रिया. हरे कृष्णा मैम.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So my devotees who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activity. Okay, so who always, they are not on ordinary course of activity, they do not get disturbed. Okay, so who are pure and expert, without care, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Okay, so he tells that the Lord, and one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. Okay, so the Lord Krishna tells, one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who is neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me, he tells. Okay, so who will take both. Okay, and then so this is can you recognize who is this in this picture? Any of you?
Ma'am Sudama.
Huh?
Ma'am Sudama.
Yeah, Sudama. Okay, so it's Sudama comes to visit, or he wants to see the Lord after many years. Okay, and he'll be very poor. Okay, and so he wants to, because his friend wife tells him, okay, so you call Krishna as your friend, why don't you meet? Because he wants to perform the wedding of his daughter. Okay, so he says, your friend is Lord Krishna, why don't you go ask his help? And so after many years, Sudama comes to see the Lord. And then when Sudama comes, Krishna welcomes him so nicely. Okay, and he treats him with so much of respect and so much of friendliness. Okay, and so Sudama is, he feels so nice, okay, that the Lord has not forgotten him. Okay, and also at the same time, he thinks that I should not misuse the friendship that I have with the Lord, and he returns back, okay, without asking him anything. Okay, and then but when he goes back, he finds that all that his wife because he was in problem, Krishna relieves him of all the problem. He'll be able to perform, or he'll get everything that he wants. Okay, so the Lord understands the law, even if they do not talk. Okay, even if the devotee does not express, the Lord understands him. Okay, so one who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. Okay, and then one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Okay, so he tells one who is equal, like this is Amrish Maharaj. Okay, so who will also be a great devotee of the Lord. Once it so happens that this one, what can you recognize who this sage is, who's always angry? Anybody? Adrit?
Ma'am, I can't see the screen.
What about others? Ovia?
Ma'am, which one?
12.1819.
1819.
Shreya?
Ma'am, I think Dronacharya.
Ma'am, Durvasa Rishi.
Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, so this is Rishi Durvasa. Okay, so who is always, that's a drop of a hat, he'll be angry. Like everything should be proper for him. So he'll have a lot of ego, because he'll be very pious and, but he'll be very egoistic. Okay, so he'll have so much of ego that immediately he will get angry if something goes wrong. Okay, and it so happens that it will be a day of Ekadashi, and Durvasa and his other disciples will have decided to come for lunch. Okay, or they'll visit Amrish Maharaj's palace, and so they will want Amrish Maharaj to arrange for the lunch on the day of Ekadashi. All of them will be fasting, and they want to break the fast with the lunch hosted by Amrish Maharaj. And it so happens that even Amrish Maharaj will be, he'll also be performing Ekadashi. And so it so happens that the sage and other his disciples, they will delay. Okay, they'll have to take bath, and they'll have to then they'll have to come to the palace for the lunch. Okay, and it will get very delayed, and for Ekadashi, there is a particular timing in which you have to break your fast. And so Amrish Maharaj will wait, and the Durvasa Muni and his other the team will not come. And then Amrish Maharaj will think, okay, because it doesn't look nice, if some host is coming to your house and you eat the food before them. So Amrish Maharaj doesn't want to do that. And then he'll think, okay, but he is also, the timing to break the fast is going to, because if you don't break your fast at that time, you have to again continue your fast. Okay, and so it so happens that the Amrish Maharaj will want to, so he'll drink water. He'll think, okay, drinking water, nothing, I will not be offending anybody. And so let me drink water. And he'll drink water, and by then Durvasa Muni comes, and then he sees that Amrish Maharaj is drinking water. And then Durvasa Muni will immediately curse Amrish Maharaj. He'll say, you have no, you don't even have that much this one, you're not giving respect to us. Okay, to us sages, that you left us, and you're breaking your fast and all that. And he will curse him, and immediately he'll take out one of his hair, and he'll create a monster. Okay, to kill Amrish Maharaj. So you can see a monster here where it is trying to throw some fire on Amrish Maharaj, so to destroy Amrish Maharaj. And because Amrish Maharaj is a great bhakt of the Lord, okay, so he starts praying to the Lord there because he had not done any fault. Okay, so he starts praying to the Lord, and then the prayer reaches Lord Vishnu, and then Vishnu leaves the Sudarshana Chakra to kill Durvasa Muni. And now Durvasa Muni tries to escape his from the then Durvasa Muni will realize what has actually happened. Okay, then he'll start running to save his life. Okay, so he goes to Brahma. Then Brahma will say, nothing, I cannot help you. Then he'll go to Shiva. Shiva will say, I cannot help you, only Narayana can help you. Then he'll again go to Narayana, and Narayana will say, no, I cannot, even I cannot help you, because I have given the instructions to Sudarshana because of my devotee. Okay, so I want to save my devotee, and that's why I have given. So I cannot take. Once I leave, I will not be able to take back. And Sudarshana will have to, whatever instruction I give, it will complete it only and then come back to me. It will not. Only my devotee can save you. Okay, and so again he'll tell, okay, so you have to go back to Amrish Maharaj, and only if he forgives, something can happen. Okay. And then he'll again come back all the way to Amrish Maharaj, and then Amrish Maharaj will request the Sudarshana Chakra to not behead Durvasa Muni. And that's how he'll be able to, that is the strength of a Bhakt. Okay, and then the Sudarshana will go back and to Vishnu. Okay, and then that's how he will, Durvasa Muni will be relieved of that. Okay, and that's the strength of a bhakta. Okay, so one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me, the Lord is telling. Okay, and then he says, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Okay, so he also tells those who follow the imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. So today's learning is, Krishna declares those who worship his impersonal form are the best yogis, and Krishna is pleased with Ananya Bhakti or Sadhana Bhakti, Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana or Dhyana. The path of devotion is the highest among all types of divine practices. Devotion requires consistent effort to cultivate. Okay, so that is the end of today's chapter.
Can I?
So, yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama.
Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Yeah, so that is the end of the chapter 12. So